don't want to smack nobody in the face.
It is time to talk politics. We have ignored it for too long, and look what we got coming our way. We have Kamala Harris, right? Now they put Joe Biden in the front, but Joe Biden's 78 years old. He could drop dead next week. And then who do we have? President Kamala Harris. Who the heck wants that? Nobody wants that. Not even the Democrats want that. That's why they're voting for Biden. Right? If they wanted Kamala Harris, she would have ran and they would have voted for her in the primaries. But instead, they put Biden out there. That's the best thing they have, is a guy that's got 1 foot in the grave. That was their best choice, their best candidate. The strongest one they got. The guy's half dead. He can't even remember where he is half the time. He doesn't even remember what he's running for. Old Hunty Biden, right? Mr. Snorts cocaine off of a hooker's butt. I mean, come on. That's the best they got coming at us. And what do we have? We have Trump. The guy that had more money than he knew what to do with. He could literally live like a king the rest of his life. And what did he do? He ran for president. He is the first American to go from citizen to White House with no stops in between. He never ran for any other office until he ran for president. There's a reason for that. There's a reason why we voted for him. And for some people that are watching the live feeds or the videos of this, and you don't like Trump, and you're thinking to yourself, who's this jerk standing on stage? Let me.
Better not have any ads in it.
It's the goods and it's the glory. 100 stripes, 100 stories. It's the Pledge of Allegiance on the 4th of July. It's them handwritten letters from home. It's them sleepless nights alone. It's his newborn baby he left with his wife. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. Lay down his life. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. For these stars that shine.
People coming from Wool County, from Schaumburg. Let me tell you something about this neighborhood. This past summer, for 4 months we suffered silently while BLM and those others came through our neighborhood, taunting our kids and the homeowners without any protection. To the legacy 19th Ward that is here and left us vulnerable, we will remember you. We're going to get you. Where was Matt? He sold us out. Making decisions on COVID, shutting down businesses, making unilateral decisions on aviation. He's not a pilot, he's not a scientist, he's not a small business owner. But when we asked for the National Guard in this neighborhood, he said, I need the advice of law enforcement. This neighborhood is loaded with law enforcement. He heard our voices. He walked away from us. Matt O'Shea sold us out. Another thing, when you go to the polls, make sure you vote no on the fair tax. They're going to take your money. 17 of the billionaires, there's 17 billionaires in the state of Illinois. 6 of them are the Pritzkers. I promise you this, they have their dough protected, okay? They're going after your pensions. To my firemen, walk away from that union vote. They're screwing you on that. Thank you very much. Trump, 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 Trump.
Okay, we have our first speakers that is coming up.
I'm Devin Jones. I'm the 18th Ward Republican committee person. It's just north of me. We are out here. Every race, every gender, there's only 2. We are out here. I want to introduce, I consider him a friend. He's a patriot. He's pro-law enforcement, pro-life, pro-economic freedom. He's just an all-around amazing person. This man just got done walking the streets of Chicago from north to south, from east to west. He's our U.S. Senate candidate, the next U.S. Senator from the state of Illinois, Mark Curran. Make some noise. Make some noise.
Oh, man.
All right. You know the dick? So I want to thank Devin Jones. He's our 18th precinct captain out here. So a million years ago, my dad was a law school classmate and a good friend of Dan Walker. We were on one side, and this guy was on the other side. I want to thank Ed Howlett, whose dad was a longtime Secretary of State. Republicans now. How about it, huh? Exactly. Trisha Krause is out here somewhere. He's worked really hard. Right there, Trish. So, I've heard some stories about the water. We need to get to the bottom of it, right? Democrats cover up. Trisha's family suffered from a water problem in Crestwood where 3 of them got cancer. So that's not cool, all right? We've had it with this business of circle the wagons for the Democratic Party and cover up. So I also want Doc Y, if you all need a dentist out here. He's in Oak Lawn. He's great.
If I didn't think that they were protected, because I wasn't there to keep them safe. But we knew, and I knew, because I would ask Patty when something would happen in the neighborhood, where there would be a shooting in our area, Albany Park, not far from where we live, right on the other side of Sacramento. And there'd be a shooting, and Patty would tell me, and I'd say, well, did you call the police? Isn't that what we do? We call the police. And because of them, the 17th District police officers in particular, I want to express my most profound gratitude to them for keeping my family safe while I was gone, while I was in exile. Thank you. You know, when I think of the men and women in our police department, I think of the firefighters. You know how I think about them? I think about 9/11. I remember vividly those images when all of those people were trying to run out of those Twin Towers before those buildings collapsed. It was police officers and firefighters who were running up those buildings to help those people get out of those buildings. And 71 police officers lost their lives on 9/11, and 343 firefighters lost their lives on 9/11. And it's a darn shame that my Democratic Party has run away from the police, have run away from the firefighters, because they're chicken shit cowards afraid to stand up for the people who keep us safe. What about Dick Durbin? Are you kidding me? What about that fence straddler? Dick Durbin straddles the fence so much his balls must hurt. I ain't running for nothing. I can talk like this, right? I hope you don't mind. Thank you. Oh, God bless you. You're beautiful. Thank you. I know Durbin. I know how he and today's Democratic Party have sold out working people. By the way, that's another thing you learn when you're forced to shelter in place like I was for 8 long years. You know what you learn? You ain't so great. You know what? The world just keeps spinning around. It don't matter whether you're in it or not. They take you out of the world. That world keeps moving. And then when you get back home, holy cow, have things changed. And holy cow, has the Democratic Party changed. This is not the Democratic Party of John F. Kennedy. This is not the Democratic Party of Richard J. Daley. This is not the Democratic Party of Richard M. Daley. This ain't the Democratic Party I was a congressman of for 6 years, governor of for 6 years. This Democratic Party is the party of Wall Street, the big corporate media, the Silicon Valley, and socialists. Socialists who want to take away the tax cuts this man gave you. Socialists. This Democratic Party doesn't stand up for the police like the Democratic Party I was a member of. The Democratic Party of Joe Biden and Dick Durbin sold out jobs when they supported NAFTA, outsourcing good-paying factory jobs. The Maytag plant's not in Galesburg, Illinois anymore because Dick Durbin voted for NAFTA. It's not in places like Danville or Decatur, all across middle and downstate Illinois, even here in Chicago, all the factories that were closed because of those economic policies that back the big corporations at the expense of working people. We're supposed to be the party that looks after the little guy. We're supposed to be the party that looks after factory workers like my immigrant father and my working mother. But the Democratic Party today has left, but we have a new leader. This is why. This is why I'm a Trumpocrat, a Democrat for Trump. Because he's remaking the Republican Party. That Republican Party's not Mitt Romney's Republican Party. Not the Republican Party of George Bush, the corporate party. This is the guy who's actually on the side of the working men and women of our country, backing our police officers and our firefighters, and standing up for all the men and women who do the work in our country and make this country the great country that it is, notwithstanding or in spite of the difficulty. So you know what I'm doing as a Democrat? I'm splitting my ticket. And I'm asking all of you, those of you who are my fellow Democrats out there, to do what I'm doing. Split your ticket. Vote for President Trump. And I like Mr. Kern. I wish you all the best. I'm for Dr. Willie Wilson. He's a good man with a good heart, cares about people. 27 million masks during the pandemic. He's a nice man. Dr. Wilson's a good man. I'm voting for Iris Martinez for clerk of the circuit court. And by the way, if Tom Dart, your homeboy from Mount Greenwood, my former roommate, well, he's not on this ballot. I'd vote for him if he were running this time around. All right, we can agree on President Trump. And who? What's her name? Billy Dart. Oh, is Billy Dart running? Oh, good man. I know the Dart family. I was at their home, their parents, mom and dad. Tom Dart and I were state reps together a long, long time ago. Anyway, let's talk about the governor. Not me, but the one that's there now. Governor Pritzker. He's playing pandemic politics. You ought to stop playing politics with the pandemic. End this lockdown. You're hurting people. You're crushing small business. Governor Pritzker, with all due respect, stop bringing the heavy weight of the governor's office on the backs of small businesses, and the weight of the governor's office, especially with this governor, that's a heavy weight, and he's putting it on the backs of small business. Lift it up. You know, there's an old saying, an old African proverb that says when an elephant steps on the tail of a mouse, the mouse doesn't appreciate it. Governor Pritzker's lockdown is crushing our businesses. And so I would say to our governor, with all respect, Governor Pritzker, you've had the good fortune of being born a billionaire. I could see Governor Pritzker as a little baby. There he is in that baby carriage. A cute baby, chubby cheeks. In his right hand, a little teaspoon, eating applesauce. Applesauce all over his bib and on his face. In his left hand, he's holding a rattle and shaking it. But the rattle was made of gold and of platinum. And so maybe it's unfair of us, Governor Pritzker, to expect you to understand the struggles of everyday people. Maybe it's unfair of us to expect that you would understand what it's like to need a job, what it's like to live paycheck to paycheck, just to make ends meet, to know what it's like to have to get a job, to have to go to work every day, to put food on the table so you can provide for your family. Governor Pritzker, my message to you is your lockdown is hurting people. You're taking their livelihoods away. You're multiplying their worries. You are thwarting their hopes. Stop destroying our businesses. Stop hurting working people. If you're not going to help us, don't hurt us, Governor Pritzker. My message to you is end this lockdown. Open up the state of Illinois. And one last thing. I'd like to wish you all the best and leave you with a few lines from a timeless Irish prayer. Here's my hope for all of you and for our president. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, the rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the hollow of his hand. God bless you, and don't forget Tom McCullough for state